I know.
Right.
Move along.
That kind of sucks. All right, we have Junior's headliner, of course, the very fabulous Dale Jones, who's just been hitting one home run after another today.
And that's going to stop right now.
And the Erie Horror Festival is going on this weekend. Of course, saluting Lost Boys, 22 years now, the 22nd anniversary. We have Brooke McCarter joining us. Brooke, good to have you here today.
What's up, Erie, man? Good
Awesome.
morning.
Brooke portrayed Paul the vampire.
Yeah, we were sort of nameless anyway. It was just like, hey, I was the one who died in the bathtub, all right?
I was going to say, I wasn't
Wow.
sure.
If I had to die anywhere, that's where I'd want to die.
You died in the bathtub full of holy water, right?
That's right. Corey Feldman and Jamie Newlander, the Frog Brothers.
Yes.
Did me my due. And, some people say it was their favorite, death scene or whatever.
I was trying to think of that this morning. Honest to God, I'm like, now, were you the guy that got mowed down by Gramps or the guy that died in the tub?
Yeah, right. There you go. That's my claim to fame, all right?
Better death scene all the way around, really. Because, you were in there, like, wiggling around and going... It's pretty cool.
What was the one right before they did the cross, and you said those don't work or something? And smacked them?
Yeah.
Was that
That's
your scene?
true. That's true.
Cool
yeah.
beans,
Oh,
man.
yeah, man.
What a great movie. Without a doubt, one of my favorite vamp movies. It's a timeless
My
movie. It's a cult classic. Everybody, there's nothing you cannot love about Lost Boys.
It does. It stands
Except
the test
Edward
of
Harriman's
time.
glasses.
Yeah, that's true. But the cast was incredible. You know what I mean? It was launching Kiefer Sutherland and the Coreys, who were 14 and knocking on my door like at 6 in the morning wanting to hang out with the party. You know what I mean? It was a crazy time.
So you messed up Corey, Hank.
Are you the man behind the...
Here, Corey,
you
snort
sullied the Coreys.
No, I think I stood the test of time and stayed out of trouble. You know what I mean? They do what they do,
But a great cast. You have Jason Patrick, who went on to do, in my opinion, one too many serious roles after that. But a great performance in that movie.
I got to tell you, it all goes back to, people go and do a lot of different stuff, but it all goes back to, hey, well, the Lost Boys. That was, how we remember you. And, like Kiefer's doing 24, and then we see posters that we, at these autograph signings that... They go, how did you get Kiefer? We'll come out of a restaurant, and we didn't ask him about 24. We asked him about Lost Boys. You know what I mean? So it's like
We were thinking, yesterday, Kiefer obviously is filming 24, obviously can't make it, but if only we had a Christmas tree for him to tackle at this festival, he may have shown up.
Yeah.
If only.
Exactly.
Now, do you still keep in touch with a lot of the other cast members, even when you're not doing these?
I'm friends with Billy Worth, who is like the dark-haired kind of vampire, Death by Stereo.
Yeah.
And of course, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, we keep in contact and do some stuff for sure. And they're all doing good. They had that big reality show or whatever that was kind of controversial and told the story, but I think they're all going on with their movie careers.
Well, Lost Boys 3 is headed to production now. You guys going to be doing any... well, I guess you can't do a cameo unless they do a flashback scene of how you got turned.
And to tell you the truth, I got to say it, I just wish they would leave the brand alone. You know what I mean? It's like the one was what it was, and if you ask the hardcore fans, man...
You know what they're doing? They're Stifler's brothering you. That's what they're doing, right, AC? Wow. What do they do with American Pie?
Yeah,
they're
right.
Stifler's brother.
Oh, yeah.
We don't care about his brother. No.
Nope.
Now, are they going prequel, or are they going...
Nah, they're taking off as it's going to be like the Revenge of the Frog Brothers kind of a thing, where these guys were the comic book hero kids who tried to destroy the vampires for the town of Santa Carla, which was shot in Santa Cruz, and it was an amazing... we were on the beach. Warner Brothers took over the entire hotel, and we shot nights, so it was ridiculous. So you went to work at 6 at night, got off at 6 in the morning. Of course, you don't want to just go to bed, even though it's 6 in the morning. You've worked. So there'd be 50 people in your hotel room at 8 in the morning partying, you know what I mean? And you go into another hotel room to get some sleep.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you were making the movie, did you guys have any idea at the time that 22 years later that movie was going to reach a new generation? And did you even think that the whole vampire genre was going to blow up like it is right now?
No idea.
I mean, it's huge.
It's so big. It's so ridiculous that we didn't have any idea what we were doing or what we were making.
Right.
Joel Schumacher, the director, had a lot to do with the vision, the look of that thing. He's amazing. But to see it all come back, it's undeniable. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of True Blood on HBO.
Okay.
I think it's pretty well done, and it also adds a bit of humor with the horror. But I'm not a fan of the Twilight series. I don't know why.
Yeah,
that just kind of.
I know why, because it took an hour and a half for him before anything happened. like, fall in love for crying out loud. Just bite the chick. Get it over with.
Right.
Like my Lost Boys. People making out in the car. Wham! Nailed them.
There you go.
Exactly.
I like that.
This whole, I love you. Let's cut the tree.
I got this.
Please.
Someone,
It's horrible.
hey, someone at the convention gave me a lapel pin, and it said real vampires don't twinkle or something like that, or
darn tootin'.
Yeah.
They don't.
Darn tootin'.
Sorry, I brought the redness in.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Well, anyway, for me, the vampire genre kind of got resurrected with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Not the movie, but the television series.
Yeah, well, it went mainstream at that point,
And then, segue now into True Blood. You got your Twilights, which, as you pointed out, Dale, is very gay. Nobody likes it, except for kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of right after the Lost Boys, I actually met with Anne Rice for the first initial meetings for Lestat.
Oh, really?
Before it ever happened, and one of the producers that was attached brought me in after that. You know what I mean? And it was like a little bit of lore and
in an interview with a vampire.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah. I've always been second. I got to come in first sometime.
That's true. You were actually up for Kiefer's role.
I was hired for Kiefer's role by all the big wigs, Dick Donner and Joel Schumacher. He was doing Lethal Weapon. Dick Donner and Joel Schumacher just did St. Elmo's Fire, did the whole Brat Pack kind of thing, and. So I read with Jason Patrick, and I'm just glad to be a part of it, to tell you the truth, because it's
no resentment. Come on,
not at all, not at all, really not at all, man. Okay. I only discussed that with my therapist. Man.
What kind of interview? Feel a little bitter? Want to cry? Here's a tissue.
Asking me to I pay a lot to tell people this. I mean, no.
You could have been Jack Bauer. How's that
yeah,
make you
exactly. Right? Yeah.
I think you're in good shape. You could have done Speed 2. I mean, come on.
There you go, man. That's a great comment. Oh, you're awesome.
Brooke, we're having a blast with you. Brooke McCarter, he's at the Erie Horror Film Festival. We had G. Tom Mack on yesterday. He was awesome. He did Cry Little Sister acoustically. And you are in his band, kind of? Or
I met G during one of these conventions in Jersey. And it was the first time that he had done for the horror people an unplugged version of the Cry Little Sister thing. And I brought up a little djembe African drum and jammed with it. It was a big hit. It's all over YouTube if you want to check it out.
Okay.
We did it in Indiana, and we're going to do an impromptu jam at the Avalon Friday and Saturday night, and he's playing in the back. There is more VIP tickets now available. I have a big guest list for all the sexy vampires.
What time is that tonight?
Well,
when you boys will be jamming.
That's going to be sort of an after hours thing. You know what I mean? Somewhere between 9 and 11, 9 and 12. Hey, wait a minute! I'm inviting all of Erie. All right, just bring your sexy vampire stuff and come on out.
I bought I purchased my kid his first set of fangs last week. I swear to God. He's got two sets. He's got your regular fangs, and he's got the glow in the darks. Kind of a big deal around the house.
Awesome. How old is he?
5.
I have a 5-year-old daughter. Yeah.
His name is Count Jacula.
I love it.
Nice. And mine was Captain Fangaroo.
I think he would beat up your.
He would. He would. But then I just drop ping pong balls.
Let's get them together. MMA vampire fights.
But I got to tell you, man, I've walked the streets of the city of Erie too, and it's a great place to shoot a movie. I mean, there's a lot of backdrops. There's a lot of history and
there's nobody on the streets.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna do an after the fallout
clear people out.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic movie.
There's nobody.
There's one crazy lady though, still alive, flashing people.
Yeah. If they shot the day after tomorrow here, what are you gonna do? Walk around with a camera?
Right.
It's abandoned. Oh my God.
Great thing for I Am Legend.
I got to give.
I Am Legend. We even got our built-in zombies. It'd be great.
Yes. Right on. I just wanted to give a shout out to Greg Ropp, who brought us all in. You know what I mean? And he, it's a testament to him. These things aren't easy to do, to keep the hype and keep the vibe and to bring in the right people and to keep it fresh. And he's done a great job.
Oh, no doubt.
We do a lot of big shows. This is maybe a smaller show, but still it's a unique show to gather the Midwest together. And he does a really good job. And I just want to thank him and the Warner Theater, for having us in, for real.
There's a lot of great things going on downtown this weekend. We've got of course, the Erie Horror Film Festival. Dale is over at Junior's. And also, too, if you're headed down to the Avalon tomorrow, there's also a bodybuilding show going on. bodybuilders and horror people together in one hotel. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's a circus.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be shooting a reality show that night. It's like Buff E, the vampire.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Nice.
Hey, you know,
I'm going to close with that.
Okay, good. I like that. I like that.
Put that in your little skit.
Yeah, put that in your skit tonight.
Hey, we'll come see. Where are you at the comedy thing? We'll come see you, man.
Down the road, man.
Okay.
6:30,
Invite
9:30.
us in.
If they
Put
let
me on
me-
the guest
if
list.
they let me
That's the only
leave.
way you can get in. You're a vampire.
right.
You have to be invited in.
That'd be awesome.
Let me also say thanks to Dave Richards. You know, at the Times, I talked to him from Florida and did a great interview, and he really gave us a lot of amazing coverage, and he did a great
Excellent.
job. He's awesome.
Brooke, pleasure having you on the show today.
Yes.
Brooke McCarter, Paul from Lost Boys,
Very cool.
here all
Awesome.
weekend long with Buff E, the Vampire Slayer. You better use that. You better use that.
Yeah.
He'll be lurking in the shadows
I will.
watching.
All right, y'all come out now. We need to feed.
All right. It's 8:22 at the Rocket.
What turns the sleepy little resort